Back everybody, this is the 8th Min English podcast series and the Learn English podcast channel. As always, I'm your host, Nathan. For most of our listeners, learning English is an exciting journey. We often see video and cross telling us what to do, but what about what not to do? Although English is seen as easy to learn, some people do not have much success with it. This is probably because they make common mistakes when learning the language. So today let's to English teachers talk about what English learners should avoid. We have also prepared a free PDF with vocabulary and helpful tips for this episode. Now, are you ready? Let's tune in. Hey Jonathan, how are things going with New English class? Everything good. My students are eager to learn, but I'm noticing a few common challenges. What kinds of challenges? Some students seem afraid to speak English because they worry about making mistakes. They understand grammar and vocabulary, but they hesitate to use them in conversation. All the same situation also happens in my class. I often tell that making mistakes is a natural part of learning any language. Making mistakes is a good thing, and it means they are trying and improving. Exactly. I try to make them understand that the more they speak, the more they improve. No one expects them to be perfect from beginning. Another thing I see sometimes is students rely too much on their native language. They tend to translate everything in their head before speaking English. While translating can be helpful for some things, relying on it all the time can slow their progress. Definitely, I always encourage them to think in English as much as possible. A common way that I often encourage my students to do is labeling objects in their room with English words, thinking English about their daily routines, or maybe we can ask them simple questions in class to make them think and talk English more. From the simplest question about their hobbies to harder questions, such as giving opinions, that can make them practice speaking and thinking in English more often. Great suggestions. Speaking of practice, I've always noticed that some of my students don't usually apply what they learn into their daily practice. Instead of finding learning a new language interesting, but then losing interest in spending more time using and practicing it. That's right. If they don't speak, listen, read, and write English often, it's easy to forget what they learned. It's like when you learn how to cook a new dish for the first time. After that, if you don't make the dish regularly, you start to forget how to do it. Yeah, I think it's really important to create more fun and motivate our students to use English more often. Applying what they learn to real life situation with another effective way. It could be from starting conversation by saying hello or ordering food and so on. I agree. Real life practice to me is one of the best methods. When they get used to language, they will be likely to make fewer mistakes and be more fluent. That's a good point. Is there another corner you have on your mind? I could offer some helpful solution. Let me see. There are few students in my class who only focus on learning grammar rules, but not the other skill. What do you think? I understand what you mean. Grammar is important, but it's not the only thing about matter. If they only study grammar, they must struggle with listening, speaking, and writing skills. Perhaps we could incorporate more speaking activities in class, like role plays or group discussions. That's also what I'm doing. The students seem to be really into discussion because they can express their ideas as individuals. Right, then listening to podcast could be a good idea to boost listening skill and critical thinking. And for writing project, they could start keeping a simple journal or writing short stories. Those are excellent suggestions. Thank you for helping out. Anytime, Kaylee. Kelly and Jonathan's conversation had given us a lot of useful information on the don'ts in learning English. Right now, let's move on to the next part. Let's talk about some important words related to this episode topic. The first word is eager. Eager means you really want something or want to do something. A lot of people are eager to learn English because it is seen as an easy language to learn. The next word is challenge. Challenge is a difficult task for your ability. Although many people find learning English easy, they still have center challenges studying this language. Next, we have progress. Progress can also be about getting better at something. If you're new to English, you may make mistakes. But as you practice, you keep getting better and better. That's progress. Now, let's talk about encouraging. To encourage someone is like giving them a little cheer. It means you want them to feel good about doing something. Teachers often encourage their students to set real goals when studying English. Finally, let's learn the word solution. A solution is something that helps you fit a problem or difficult situation. Learners of the English language sometimes have to think of solutions for their challenges. Let's look at two important questions about our topic. The first question, how can we avoiding the use of English in daily activities slow down progress? If you don't use English in your daily life, you'll miss chances to practice speaking, listening, and using what you've learned. This can slow down your progress. The second question, what is a problem to study English alone without practicing with others? Studying English alone can be good, but practicing with others is important too. Taking to order lets you hear natural English and correct your mistake. Without this practice, you might miss chances to improve your fluency and confidence. Let's share your thought on this question. Please leave your comments below and let's talk about it. Before wrapping up today's episode, let's explore some fun fact about the English language. Did you know English is like the rock star of languages? It's very popular around the world. It started as the main language of the internet and is still the most used language for developers. That's why about 70% of our information online is in English. English is always changing. In fact, a new word is added to the dictionary about every 2 hours. This means around 4,000 new words are created each year. One interesting English about English is that most of its speakers are native speakers. Many people English as their second or even third language. But don't worry, there are still many native speakers, till around 250 million of them worldwide. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Remember, practice makes perfect. Goodbye and see you again.